Hi chaps, Simo P here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today I am bringing you a replay in my Centurion Action X on Airfield. Sax CA10, Centurion Action 10, Centurion Action 10, why not, let's go with that. So the reason I want to show you this replay today is maps generally have certain areas where certain types of tanks should go. So on Airfield, heavy should be going to the hills on D, E, 5 and 6. What I want to show you today is, I suppose, what happens when tanks don't go to their usual positions and what you can do, hopefully, to sort of push the situation so you get a favourable outcome. So as you can see currently, all our heavies are camping base. We are 30 seconds in, they've not moved. The only thing we have pushed into this middle brawling ground is the OBJ 140, not a great brawler, unlike the T62A, doesn't have a great turret. The hull arm is a little bit trolly, but not particularly. The gun depression's not great on it either. We've got a Lycan pushing and me. We've caught this Batchat just doing absolutely nothing. We've got Hesh loaded just because we're just going to absolutely rip through him with it. So in a map like this, when the heavies don't go to the location I'm at now, this can leave your entire team really vulnerable. If they push this location with heavies, they then have map control over half the map. They can get shots at your TDs that are around your cap. They can also get shots on the tanks that are hanging around the 9-0 line, as well as shots onto the hill on the GHJ5-6 line. So it's a really vital location to hold, and generally because of the openness, you need heavies to hold the location. They peekaboo round, and when that doesn't happen, what should happen is the red team should just absolutely smash us. So what I've decided to do in this game is to use the Centurion Action 10's great gun depression that it's got, and I went up the ramp initially and I was hoping just to bait a couple of tanks round just to keep them in place and hope that our heavies finally got their arse in gear. At this point they finally move in, except for that one idiot on J9 who's just doing absolutely nothing, and he should just install the game and just save us a load of trouble. Now we've got quite lucky. We've managed to hold the middle. The heavies have finally started moving, but at this point it's totally pointless. I'm not really contributing anything to the game. We've won the middle. They've not pushed massively hard, but what we have got to do now is deal with all these TDs that are sitting back here. And I found a Death Star, put one shot into him. I get quite lucky. He rolls low on the RNG and doesn't take me out. I've still got my Hesh loaded. It's at this point my Hesh RNG runs out. I switch to my normal APCR rounds, and what I want to do is, he's got an almost 20-second reload. I don't have particularly too much to worry about. I can get 2-3 shots into him fairly comfortably before I need to start panicking and getting out of his view range. But what I do need to do at this point rather, is to ensure I'm not being taken out. I'm lit up. I know their TDs are all along the one line on the hill there. They've got the waffle. They've also got tanks on the left hand side. So even though we're pushing through quite strongly, we're caught on the left hand side where they've still got active heavies, and on the right hand side where they've still got active TDs. So what I want to do is just sort of slim down the amount of enemies that can be effective against us, bring them down to one hits, make them go back into cover, just so we can advance and use our superior numbers to take them out at will, rather than having to run at tanks that are quite comfortable sitting out in the open taking shots. As you can see here, this waffle is doing everything he can to avoid taking damage from me. I put one into him, he can't hide himself completely, put the second into him. If I wasn't doing this and putting shots into him, the problem is he could just hang out the back, just show the very back of his tank, unload his 6 clips and do a lot of damage. This Vindicator, obviously he's not really up to much. The tank's not great. He ain't got the access to the tier 10 gun on the tank on the Charioteer, so I feel pretty comfortable taking this guy out. There's the second shot into him. The third one will come, but it's okay. We should be able to survive it. There we go. Bang. He's dead. We eat a shot in return, but it's worth it. Now again, I just want to highlight how realistically this game shouldn't have gone the way it had. We got very lucky on how we traded on the middle part where we are, and we got very lucky. We pushed so aggressively that their red tanks that had won the hill had to push back to cover their base. Otherwise this could have gone completely tits up, and there we go, dying to the Batchat in the corner. But it's a good game, so it's right. It's here to highlight a point. So hopefully what I sort of want everyone to take away from this is, every map has set locations where tanks should be. Be aware of them. You don't necessarily have to go there, but just be aware if your heavies aren't going to a heavy brawling spot, the enemy heavies are going to take it, and that's going to leave your team exposed. And what you've got to try and figure out is, where is the exposure to your team, and more importantly, what can you do to limit it? Is there a spot further back where you can provide cover fire, get sniping shots that keeps them in cover so they can't annihilate your team and push? But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. It was a fairly good game. We've done 5k physical damage, 2k assisted, 111,000 credits. We got the high caliber. So overall, a pretty good match. Guys, I hope you are enjoying the content. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time, chaps.